here we are back again with episode 14 of The Pit, our first episode for the 2024 year. It's been a while, but you got to have a break over Christmas and New Year. And today we are joined by Noctem Rezzy, Noctem's AR player for the Modern Warfare 3 season. This man has looked absolutely exceptional throughout the first 2 months of this game. How are we today?
Good. Didn't know we were doing the first episode of the year, so nice bit of pressure there to get some good content out. But yeah, we'll cook. We'll go with it. Yeah, not bad. Bit of a content day, to be fair. It was Noctem as well, and yeah, I mean, this is my first time doing a podcast, so we'll do the best we can.
I
Try to keep it entertaining.
the way we've seen you online this year, I mean, you're entertaining enough. I've got no doubt that this will be a banger. So, I mean, segment 1, we'll get straight into it. It's just a brief overview. Title is the team. So you're under Noctem for the Modern Warfare 3 season. Now, from a personal point of view, I'm very intrigued how that relationship started with Noctem.
I mean, last year I was teaming with Gabe, and teaming with Gabe's a blessing because he gets 1,000 orgs DMing him all the time. One of them was Jack, who we had meetings with and stuff. But yeah, I played with Jack under Jack last year, built a good relationship with him, helped him with stuff, he helped me with stuff, did content in person, online. And yeah, I just had a really good relationship going into him with him. Now we've got to try and perform. I mean, me and Jack get on really well, so
good.
Yeah, he has a lot of trust in me and the team.
So you've been under Noctem for a while now as well. So was the initial connection strictly through Gabe?
Directly through Gabe, because Jack DM'd Gabe.
Yeah.
But like, even when we were on the team last year, like, I like sorted quite a lot of the stuff out, etc. with through Jack, but not that Gabe didn't. But yeah, it was kind of like me, Gabe, Jack would be in meetings, etc. But yeah, he reached out to Gabe originally for the team last year, but yeah, then going into this game, obviously Gabe went to Canada and he wanted to stick with the EU boys. We split into 2 teams last year, didn't we? So
yeah,
we had like mine and Jed's team, and Gabe had his team was like Maestro, Chunk, and all that. So it's just down to like whoever he wanted to go with into this game. He picked me and Jed, I guess. But
I mean,
yeah, I mean that's all on his decisions, isn't it? I can't speak for him on that, but
no, I don't think anyone could talk on behalf of Jack. He's an absolute character, but I mean, looking like he made a very good decision, to be honest, because you lads look stellar. Is there anything that made Noctem stick out from other orgs?
I mean, to be honest, originally I think like Gabe wasn't even like taking it serious because it was a startup, and in COD there's so many people who come along, bit like the situation that's just happened with the Pack F team. They'll come along, make promises, then back out or go MIA. The DMs get ignored. The amount of times people come along promising this, that, and you don't get any of it, or even like finding orgs is really hard now, obviously with the franchising, etc. So you do get some characters like the Boston org we went under last year. It took us like 4 months to get our accommodation money, which is apparently the guy spent it all gambling, etc. I mean, that's as far as I'm going to go on that, but he did pay it eventually, so no quarrels there. But that's just the sort of thing you come across in challenges, and obviously, I mean, like that Beans team, absolute class team, only just sorted an org themselves under war, so you can see like how hard it is. So it's not so much you get a lot of options, but that's not to say like like Jack's vision to begin with. You could tell like he was serious and stuff, and obviously he's done quite a lot within the year that he's been running Noctem. So like onwards and upwards, I guess. I believe in him. I believe in his vision. It's nice to be a part of it. See what we can do under it, but I mean, even beyond us, I think he'll take it further. So
yeah,
I think he's got big plans.
Yeah, that man's always got big plans, big things to come. And you say that the org was Boston last year. Was that the Misfits roster?
We were like AFAME, I think the org was.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know if they even run their org anymore. Obviously, Challengers is expensive, man. So if he was paying out of his own pocket and then losing it gambling as well, like he clearly didn't have the facilities to be in Challengers. But
yeah, it's not like you said. There's so many people that are doing it, but it's crazy. But we're trying to stem off the negatives. I think we could go all day on that topic, to be honest. But let's get into the actual team itself. So yourself and Detain, you've been teamed since April of 2023. How good
Yeah.
is that duoship, and how did it start?
Um, Me and Gabe had two different visions of where we wanted to go in the roster. Obviously, at the time, I think he wanted to go as Pac Dizzy. Both really, really good players. I rate them both quite highly, but I also know they're both quite snaky. So I said to Gabe I didn't want to play with them at the time because I knew they're always looking for like the next best thing, or they're just like always trying to. That's not a rip. That's what you got to do in challenges. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
My point was proven. Gabe got snaked by them within like a week and a half.
Jesus.
Had to pull like some strings together. Yeah, they did good in a tournament and then they dipped, but then he had to pull strings together for like Toronto at the time, like last minute. So I mean, I kind of saw that coming. So Jed, I was talking to at the time. Always thought Jed was a good player. Obviously, his reputation speaks for himself. He's always done good in COD. But yeah, since I've been teamed with him, you can tell how much he understands about the game and passionate, etc. So I do like playing with Jed.
Mm.
Hopefully, find some success with him.
I mean, that man's won everything when it comes to challenges, right?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
so if he's done it once, he can do it again. And if he's
Yeah.
chose to duo with you, right, it's got to say great things about yourself as well. So that
I mean,
duoship
yeah,
looks incredible.
he's won, so obviously he knows how to win.
Yeah.
Now we've got Wardy as well, so
Mm.
there's winners on the squad. We just got to find the right recipe between us to. Because right now our S&D is looking pretty stellar. We've barely lost an S&D to anyone, but just trying to find the right way of getting hardpoint together. Obviously we've built quite an interesting roster, I'd say, to the dynamics of the game. We basically got 3 SMG players in a AR heavy game. It was a bit of a risk, but I mean, even like after the last weekend, which was disappointing to us, we've watched a lot of the VOD back, and we can kind of see what we're doing wrong now. Like, there's quite a few like major issues that are just like so simple fixes, and it should change a lot of score lines. But you know, we got a few weeks to work on that till Boston, anyways.
Plenty of
And
time.
I'd rather be ahead on S&D than hardpoint right now, to be honest,
Yeah.
because I feel like some people might disagree with me. It's easier to catch up on hardpoint than it is like to learn S&D. Do you know what I mean? Some people just can play S&D and some can't.
Yeah.
And you can definitely learn how to play S&D as a team if you're not a good S&D player individually. But earlier in the year, it's easy to be ahead in the S&D. It's sort of like season 4 that flips. Like everyone kind of knows what they're doing. You know what I mean? And then it's a lot more closer. But you know,
Yeah, and
I
I
mean,
mean the rumor as well. I don't know if you can validate this, but apparently there could be a patch before the Boston tournament on certain hills on Hardpoint as well.
yeah, I did see Parasite's tweet actually saying that.
Yeah,
Whether it's true or not, I don't know. I mean, that sort of stuff has happened to us many times in the past.
many
Spawns updating a
times.
week beforehand and stuff. It's not something we're not used to. We're used to disappointment at this point, but I mean, we were quite behind on watching VOD and stuff because like Ward got thrown around at the start of the game. Didn't watch much VOD on his old teams. We weren't watching much VOD on our old team for reasons I won't go into, but it also helped us to get ahead on S&D because that's what we put our time into. So we've got some catching up to do, but I believe we'll get there.
No, so do I. I mean, promising times ahead. And then
Yeah.
another bloke on that roster, Cruz, another one of your teammates you played with a lot in the last year. You spent around 8-9 months teamed together. You then took a break and reunited at the start of this game. What was the reason behind the decision for the reunion?
Um, Zhao's always been a weird one, and I have faith in him to play at the best of his ability because when he's quite explosive. When he's playing good, he's like really good. But he also takes a bit longer to learn the game and get into the game than other people. So like you'll often find like earlier in the game he does struggle a bit more than most, but when he understands the game, he's a really good player. And obviously, like last year, I made a few like roster moves and stuff that didn't go in my favor. He ended up having more of a successful end to the year, so like he beat a few good teams at champs. Didn't exactly get the placement I think he wanted, but like he did show a lot of improvement, and when he's on it, he's solid. It's
Yeah.
just like getting him on it and getting him to understand the game, etc. And obviously, this game's quite AR heavy at the start. He's been a main SMG every single COD, so that's something we're going to change. We're trying to integrate that more into our maps coming forward, like getting him to use an SMG a bit more,
Yeah.
so he's more comfortable, etc. Because he does not like using an AR. But you know.
I mean, I'm not surprised. The pace that sometimes that man plays at, I couldn't imagine putting an
Yeah,
AR in his hand. Like like you say, when
and
he's on, he's on.
it's even like fundies as well. Like I'm not just going to expose our whole team on this podcast, but like with an AR, his fundies are a lot worse than when he has a sub in his hand. I don't know why. It's going to be a comfortability thing. Like you're used to what you're doing. He probably feels more comfortable flying around the map with a sub, finding his timings, etc. Like actually rotating, being able to take like even like mid sprinting people. You know, like if you're rotating and stuff with an AR, you need to have good awareness and centering and stuff. Like know when you're gonna bump into fights. Where with a sub, you can kind of get away with like bullshitting your way out of it a bit more. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
And
100%.
yeah, obviously you still got to be smart, really smart to do it. But you know, I think it comes down to comfortability. And I mean, it's like me. If I have a sub on, I have a tendency of taking way too many like long range gunfights with a sub just because I'm just used to taking like medium range gunfights. And like most people will work the map and get close on people and get cracked. I'll just be there like trying to beam people. But you know, it's all what you're used to doing, isn't it? Vice versa, he'll have an AR. The guy will just throw the most absurd ego chows, and you kind of like you need him to calm down a bit. But you know, it's just it's you need to be able to adapt, and I think that's what we're going to work on in the next few weeks, trying to get people more comfortable in their roles. Fix up on a few like our rotations, like rotating to each hill, lacking a bit at times. So
No.
if we can get that stuff together, I think we'll be solid.
Well, we've seen it previously, but I'm going to touch on that. Touch on that in a couple of questions time. I've got one more before we do. You've had one team change already this year. You brought Wardy, as you already said, in to replace Genesis. Now, don't go too much into this if you don't want to, but what was the main reason behind that?
Um, I mean, I've played with Ward since I was 13. One of my best friends in Call of Duty. So personally, like, if I have an opportunity to play with him again, I'm going to take it. He's a beast. When it came down to who we're replacing on the roster, I won't go into that. We tried a few different variations out. Felt this one worked best at the time. Um, Believe in the move. So, I mean, Ward's unreal. His talent speaks for himself, innit? So,
Yeah, so it was more of a case of this unbelievable player's become available. Do
yeah,
we try and get him in?
and we weren't necessarily performing the way we wanted to be performing on our old squad. There was a few clashes and heads and stuff like that. So that's as far as I'll go.
Yeah.
But yeah, no beef between anyone. Everyone was happy. But yeah, it wasn't necessarily a droppage. It was mutual. Like certain players didn't want to play together anymore,
It happens.
and that's just how it goes. Yeah, I mean that's COD.
Yeah,
You know.
it's a natural process. I mean, to be 2 months into a game and only say you've had one roster change, if you look at a lot of other people
I
in
mean,
this
yeah,
game, it
every
was
other
pretty good.
team in the change, every other team in the
Yeah,
game, part maybe the Spanish and the Rafi team had made changes. So
yeah. And,
you know, you got
exactly.
it's a different game. You got to find what works. You know.
Yeah, I completely agree. But I think it would have been, I'd have done myself an injustice if I wouldn't have asked the question. Um, but in the last two 1Ks, you finished top 3 in the String Esports 1K and top 6 in the Rotation 2 1K. How did the team feel after those placements? Do you think you could have pushed further, or were you content with those placements with being a newly formed team?
Um, Obviously we want to win.
Of course.
That's the main goal. Where we are as a team, we know we're a bit behind in hardpoint and stuff. Like from scrims alone and stuff, we know we need to we've got a lot to catch up on. Learning how to play together, especially learning how to navigate this game with 3 aggressive players. And it will take a bit of time. Something we got to crack together. Like we got like 10 days now to Boston. We've really got to crack down on it. Few really great teams in the game right now, like the Deviants team and the new War team. So they are hard teams to beat, but we're confident in ourselves. We're confident in not losing S&Ds. So once we crack down on respawn, I believe we'll be able to take series. But yeah, I mean we want to win. That's the goal, isn't it? So we were disappointed at both. Like we all went off depressed after them cups. Came back on, watched through the maps and stuff. But at the time we were angry. So it's not where we want to be losing any sort of place in the bracket.
Yeah, no, I get that. You want to win. But that String Esports one, especially for me, losers final against Nasty and Co.
I mean,
I
yeah, we
mean,
threw map one away. Like,
you could have won. Like, I think you should have won that series. Is that the way you've seen it when you've watched it back?
I mean, they are ahead on, well, for us, we're behind on control as well. Like our control stunk in that tournament. We put a lot of work in it, and it was definitely better in this tournament, but it's still not where we want it to be.
Yeah.
But like map 1, we threw away. We were up like 170 to like 90 at one point, and then we decided to go for P2 over P1 on Skid Row, and then got broke by a streak on P2 and ended up losing both of them and just let them straight back in the game. So it's just like this game, little things can cost you so much time because the hills string together. That one doesn't necessarily string together, but I mean that alone would have pushed it to a map 5, and we're quite confident in our search.
Yeah.
Terminal hardpoint. Again, we started off quite good. We were up like 80 to like 30 at one point, and then we just got strung together 3 hills, and the momentum was just against us at that point.
They're incredible on the
Like,
map as well. They might be one of the
yeah,
best teams on
and
it.
yeah, I mean, yeah, they're a really hard team to play against, but
Can imagine.
I mean, we gave it our best at the time.
Yeah, I mean,
We
like,
were very frustrated after, especially like throwing that map 1 away, but
yeah. But I think from what I've seen from your roster this year, that might be the one of the best I've seen you looked in a tournament day. Like you looked really bang on it on that Sunday.
oh yeah, I mean, I was frying that day.
Incredible. But was that your same vibe? Like, did that feel for you like this is the best we've played so far during this title?
I mean, yeah, you've only got 2 tournament examples really.
Yeah, there's not a
Wasn't
lot.
happy last weekend, so so I'd say yeah,
Yeah,
we were pretty on it that day. Um, Individually, I played better in that tournament than last weekend, but you know, I was tweaking with settings this weekend, trying out like different aim assists and stuff like that. But you know, I ain't worrying about that.
no,
First important tournaments next weekend, anyways. That's where we've got like it's easy to look at these fun cups and go, we perform better in this one than that one, etc., etc. What do we need to work on and stuff like the main tournaments next weekend, and then we got the main LAN event a week and a half after. So
yeah, and you're looking in good form, they say for the first event as well. So it
yeah,
is looking promising. But one more thing, right, on that String Esports one. If you would have
yeah,
got to Grands, do you think you would have beat Notorious?
yeah.
Yeah,
If we managed to go ahead against Beans and that, then we would have went into that series with a lot of confidence to beat them. Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, like I said, very confident in our search right now. So we're a bit of a Neslo team at the moment, but you
yeah,
know, obviously we'd had to win 2 best of 5, so it'd been a lot harder. But that's a very talented bunch of guys as well. But yeah, I mean, we're always going to back ourselves.
100%. But yeah,
I don't want to sound like cocky, or I don't want to sound like we're not confident. But I mean, at the time when you're playing, you think everyone's shit. You know,
yeah, that's
you're a
just natural.
competitor at heart.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah.
Yeah, no, promising stuff. So, does this new look roster suit you personally better than it did before when you had Genesis on the roster?
I would say me individually.
Yeah,
I would say uh, I definitely have to do more like slow stuff on this roster. Like, I mean, I'm a pretty slow player anyways at times, but like, and we're looking to change this a bit. But I feel like I have to rotate a lot more on this team and stuff. Like James used to do quite a bit of that, was me. Wardy's more of like an aggressive cut player, like just try kill everything. Jed and Jow are both quite aggressive, so I mean, that's one of the main issues we looked at in this cup was like we were barely rotating to hills. Our breaking hills is actually pretty good, but we're trying to win a whole map from just breaking everyone over and over again.
yeah,
And we have success with it. We're probably one of the best teams at breaking like a P2 skid row or something, but why are we forcing ourselves to do that over and over again?
yeah.
Like,
It's not a healthy formula.
no, but we're going to work on it. Yeah, James used to do a lot of that with me on the old team, but we weren't necessarily where we wanted to be on that old team either. Different issues. So, I mean, so in terms of getting kills and stuff, it's probably easier on the old team, but like I'm not struggling with it on this team either. I just have to do a bit more dirty work and stuff, which is fine. That's like the main AR's job in it.
Yeah,
Just need everyone else to like get into the dirty work formula and rotate a bit more and stuff, and we're gonna work on that this week. So
that'll come with the more time you play together as well. So, I was just
yeah,
intrigued to see, yeah, the thoughts on the new
yeah.
team compared to the old. But now
And yeah,
you're a real
it's
man.
just figuring like in theory we've only played together for like we started teaming at Christmas, but obviously there was like 5 or 6 days off over that period, New Year's, etc. Few days people haven't been able to play it stuff, so we've probably only had like 10 days together. 2 of them have been taught like 4 of them days have been tournaments. It's not a lot of like scrim time, etc. Looking at VOD, and we're like every single day we watch stuff back. We're identifying more and more stuff, which is just like critically hindering us in games. Like we're blocking spawns and making people. We'll be on invasion control, blocking ice cream when both points are up. When we have like a guy pushing up A Street, and then we're making the spawn close to A when we've got our numbers over on the right. Like it's just stuff we're doing that are actually hindering us and we're making the game a lot harder on ourselves. But we're learning stuff every single day. We watch stuff back and going, what are we doing? Like, and that's all it is. Like we got to learn all that stuff, and we're doing our best to learn it as quick as possible. So, I mean, we haven't had long together yet, so hopefully we can catch up. Some teams naturally click straight away like that and respawn. Some teams you've got to work on stuff, get on the same page, especially with this sort of dynamic and this sort of game. It is taking us a little bit longer, but I do fully believe we'll get there.
No.
Everyone on the team is talented.
Stacked roster, absolutely stacked. And how soon do you think this team can secure its first tournament win?
I mean, hopefully next weekend. Got a lot of work to do this week, but hopefully next weekend, yeah. In the first 2K of the weekend. I mean, that'd be great.
So this episode comes out the Sunday morning of that Sunday top 8. So
you'll either see a champs tweet or not.
we'll see.
Or a depressed GIF on Twitter.
Oh god, no, none of that. It's gonna be a dub. But one last question in this segment. We see most top 8 seeded teams opt out of streaming while competing. Do you see that changing soon with the current ecosystem we're in? And does your team have a policy of no streaming?
We don't have a policy of no streaming, but like on our old team, because the old team was longer, people started to do it a bit more. Like Jad did a tourney, then James did a tourney. But right now we're not where we want to be as a team to like just throw streams up and like focus on that stuff during a tourney. Like we're still learning and we're still trying to really focus on trying to win. So as we get better chemistry and come together with the way we want to play a bit more, I don't see why we can't throw a stream up in the tourney. But right now we've got like lands coming up. We've got a lot of focus on like just winning.
Yeah.
And I mean, like our team was Gabe last year. He'd stream every tourney. Wasn't a problem for me.
Yeah, which is what I wondered.
I know some people don't like it on certain teams, but even on the Saturday, if you stream until you get to the sweaty games and turn it off like some teams used to do. I know Dave used to do that back in the day. Like he told us that. Like
I think Kobe done that this weekend.
As that. Yeah. And we haven't had to either because teams have been letting like Jack do his watch parties and stuff. So whether people will let us do it in the 2K in a proper tournament, I don't know. But
I'm surprised they allowed it for this long, to be honest, with how competitors can be. But I mean, the main point of the question is like the money value to it. Obviously, like everything you do costs a lot of money, so like streams can obviously assist that.
I mean, I've got no right to tell people to stream because I could have streamed for years and years and years, and every single one of us know we should be streaming, and they will go, "Why haven't we streamed since Advanced Warfare? Why haven't we streamed since Black Ops 3 or whatever COD you started playing on? I could have a big stream right now, etc. I could be earning money from this stuff." Every single competitor knows this deep down, and they'll say, "Well, I haven't done this to themselves," and then they still won't do it, and I'm included in that, so I can't. I've got no right to tell anyone to do it, but I mean. Challenges is volatile, man. It's hard to make any money from it unless you're winning everything. And even when you're winning anything, you're probably not even making minimum wage. Like,
no.
We should all be streaming technically, but it does put a hindrance on winning at the same time. It's hard to put all your eggs in different baskets. And I mean, Gabe's done quite well with it, but obviously, I mean, he even struggles like balancing both. He balances a girlfriend, streaming, competing, like. And then a lot of challengers players have jobs as well. There's only so many hours in the day, and we could do it. Obviously, Beans and that streamed a lot of their scrims, and they're winning, so it is possible. But I have no right to tell people to do it because we all should be doing it, but we don't.
Fair enough. I think that's about as good
an
answer we can get to that.
It's one of them things where we all know we shouldn't smoke, but we smoke. Like it's just sometimes logic doesn't win.
No, yeah. Fair enough. I like that take on it. And that concludes segment 1. So we're into segment 2, which is Boston Stage 1 Open, Modern Warfare 3. Last year you attended Boston with Aroma, Cruz and PE. Do you feel more comfortable attending an event that you've already previously been to?
I mean, comfortability doesn't come into it. It doesn't really bother me. If you're talking about like nerves or anything like that, I mean, for me, that doesn't make a difference whatever location you go to. I'd honestly prefer to be going to new locations every time because it's a blessing to be able to go to these events.
Yeah.
It's like assistance from orgs, etc. You know, it's one of the reasons I still compete is just being able to see new places. So actually, it's a bit annoying going back to the same places. Like I went to Boston, Texas, and Toronto last year. Boston and Toronto, the 2 events this year. Champs is probably Texas. That's annoying. I'd rather get me to Miami or something, man. I want to see new places.
We might be
But
getting to Miami on a bit of a side note. From the
yeah,
rumors, they're
but
looking at it.
I mean, everyone handles pressure and stuff different at LAN, but I don't think it really matters where they go. LAN is LAN. So, I mean, it's a different venue. It's always going to be a new experience, but I think after you've been to a few events, you kind of learn how to handle it. I mean, hands up, my first few events, I was nervous as anything. Like, I used to care what people thought about me and stuff. That would make me play worse and stuff. And then I took a break from competing, and I kind of came back and looked at everyone differently. Like, they ain't experienced the real world. Like, it's not even a rip to anyone. I just look at everyone like, why did I care what you thought about me? I don't really give a fuck anymore.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have that click right as they grow older and they get further into the scene.
Yeah.
That's what everyone should have.
Everyone's got their mind made up on you, man. So the pressure's not on you. It doesn't matter what you do. Like, you just got to play your game, and you know, if people rate you, they rate you. If they don't, they don't. You know, at the end of the day, you're trying to win with your team, so doesn't matter what other teams think of you.
Just do your thing.
Yeah.
So, well, Boston then we're just not excited for in terms of the
I mean,
location and going back to the same place.
I mean, I did like Boston. I'll give you that. Last year it was too cold, so I'm hoping it's not that cold again. But
Have you seen?
no, what?
Have you not seen the weather?
Nah, I haven't even checked.
Minus
Is it
10.
gonna be? Yeah, see, that's just not on, man.
Yeah.
But if the venue's better, it's fine. Last venue we didn't have heating. People were opening the doors and stuff.
Yeah.
We were all playing
Wild.
in puffer coats, holding a coffee between maps. Like, I had my coach just bring me a coffee between every single map, not to drink, just so it's hot, like literally a glass of hot water to hold. And then the admins were letting people open the cold doors and stuff. It was a joke.
Right. Okay.
So,
Maybe that's enough of asking about
yeah.
Boston last year. We're just going to verge off of that one now.
Hopefully the venue's better and we have heating. That's all that matters.
Fingers crossed. Do you think your team will perform even better on LAN than they have online? The main reason I asked this is because you've had crews playing from Portugal this season, playing against the best players in Europe, while on a pretty high ping.
I mean, yeah, Jow's hindered. He's on a PC that gets 110 FPS.
Jesus.
Playing against people on 240 FPS. And ping doesn't come into it because he's a warrior. He's got Spanish web. Spanish web's the best web. So
Okay.
I don't think he's hindered internet-wise. Those guys can play on 40 ping and just joke the life out of you. But he has got a really bad PC. So he's played good on LAN when I've played with him. So I think he is better on LAN. Ward's an animal. He's just a competitive demon, so he'll just scream at everyone. And yeah, I mean, Jed's pretty good no matter where he is, but obviously he's been very successful on LAN. So I think overall as a team we should be better on LAN because people are hindered, and I think people just go that extra mile at LAN. They go harder, etc. You know, so
yeah, no, 100%, 100%. So generally, how confident are you heading into Boston?
yeah, I'm 100% confident. I think we can fix what we want to fix over this next 2 weeks. We'll have a good chance at Boston at doing really well. I don't believe there's a lot of teams that are that good to like make stuff uncomfortable. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think we're ahead on search. I think we can catch up on a few things in Harbin and stuff. We can go quite can go head to head against anyone.
Good.
And
Can't wait
I
to
have
see
full
it.
faith in my teammates. So yeah, probably the most confident I've been going into an event.
You've just ticked off another question there. I mean, that roster really is that stacked. I don't think a lot of people understand how stacked this roster is.
Yeah, just needs to come together, and we should be able to cook people.
And I hope it happens. I really hope it happens. Now,
It will, man.
I know this is a bit red flag for you, right? So don't answer as you want. No comment if you feel it is a bit different, but we know everyone's goal is to win the event. But what placement do you deem acceptable?
I mean, that's a hard question because we want to win.
Cool.
For me, it'd be I really want to make a Sunday because like it used to be hard to like always like text home say oh you're out on the Saturday etc 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 and obviously it was like I lost my dad recently and I always wanted to like win something for him or even just making like the championship Sunday would have made him so proud. So like for me that's given me so much more like drive and etc like goal and stuff to make a Sunday. But like the main goal is winning. So I believe we can do it, and I want to prove to my dad etc that I haven't wasted so many years and I had it in me all along. But and speaking on behalf of my team, I know they all really want to fucking win. So
Yeah. Okay.
no.
Sunday, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
And now on the flip side of it, right? If your team does not achieve the acceptable placement, does the team write it off due to being a new team, or would personnel changes be looked at?
I mean, I can't speak for that until the event.
Yeah.
It's one of them in COD. It's all business at the end of the day. We perform nowhere near where we want to perform, and people are the reason for that. Then it's business at the end of the day, But if it's stuff you can fix within the team, and you can see the vision, you can get to where you want to be, then you try and fix it. But you can't it's one of them things where you only know once you've played,
Yeah. I feel that, and just proving that you're a wise head, to be honest, and that's the vibe we get when we talk to a lot of the higher end of challenger players, right? It's business. We all like each other,
Yeah.
we want to play with each other, but business is business. And
Everyone
at the top gets
understands
it.
that at the end of the day. I mean, I probably am more on the loyal end, and it's absolutely been detriment in the past. Like we done worse at the second event last year than we did at the first. Like we absolutely threw a series against the team that won it, like a 2-1 up on Albagra defense on the next round. For it was like 12 seconds left, so
Oof.
like very disappointed in that event. But then from practice, we could tell we were getting worse. But like I loved my teammates at the time and loyalty and stuff. So, like we probably should have made a change earlier on that year, but we didn't, and that's just down to my character. But I've like this year I've got a new look on it. Like winning's the only thing that's important to me now, and like loyalty does come second now. Like obviously it's a good characteristic to have, but you can't let it hinder you as well.
Yeah.
You just got to find the right balance,
That's just about life lessons and learn them from them, right?
But
And it sounds like it.
and I say that no one will look at that like it's a bad thing. Everyone's got to be like that in COD.
Yeah.
Like it's just how it goes. Everyone
No.
understands it. You can't take offense to it.
Game's the game.
Yeah.
Has the team had any different preparation heading into a LAN event compared to the online events and normal weeks that we've had so far?
The main focus has been on us at the moment. Obviously, we have no idea who we play until at the time. In the past, at the event, we've looked through like teams S&Ds and stuff if we know we're going to play them, and that's helped us win them. But at the moment, the focus is just solely on what we're doing wrong and correcting that. And that makes no difference whether it's online or LAN. You're playing this, you're still trying to play good COD at the end of the day, and that's the same either way. So yeah, we're just looking at what we're doing wrong and trying to fix that, and then by the time LAN comes, learning's over, and we just got to execute.
Hear that? I hear that. Has the team or yourself been holding any secrets on the maps for Boston?
I mean, we got a few things that will piss a few people off, but not what I'd call exploits or anything like that, or anything like people get too annoyed about not breaking GAs or anything like that. But yeah, a few things in S&D we know about that I think some teams might not know at the moment, and yeah, might come out in the cup, might come out in the LAN event. We'll see.
Okay.
Few strats.
How important do you see this first cup as well? While we're on that subject.
Oh, it's quite important. It's obviously going to go to the seeding of the event.
Yeah.
But the main thing is confidence, seeing where the team's at. You know, if you can win that cup before the event, you're going into the event on top of the world, you know? Where if you have a bad cup before the event, you're kind of like, you're not nicked in a sense of confidence, but you're more pissed off, you know?
It's a lot on
We all
this
want to
one.
we all want to be winning at the end of the day, and only having one cup before the event, it doesn't give you time to like necessarily, like last year, there was so many 2Ks. Well, I say so many. There was more that like two or three at least. And you could work on stuff, and we've had fun cups, etc. But you know, it's the real tournaments. Everyone does go a little bit harder, I guess. And yeah, the main thing this cup is confidence as much as seeding is important. You wanna feel like you can beat everyone.
No, for sure, 100%. And I've got one final question while we're on this segment. Easy one. While we have a man here who's attended Boston before, do you have any tips or recommendations for people attending?
Um, okay, pack like thermals. um, it's better for me, if individually, this is the advice I'll give. You're better to bring stuff like a Under Armour shirt, like a thermal top, and then if you're hot in the venue, take it off, like in the toilet. Then, you know, risk not having any of it. Puffer coats, hand warmers, a must. It's going to be really, really cold. Advice I'd give is don't necessarily, because I know people are struggling up with hotels and stuff. The underground is really good in Boston. Literally go everywhere in Boston. So we were doing that last time. $10 each, went wherever we wanted. Took 20 minutes or so, but you know, if we were doing Ubers, you were probably talking about $500 for the week, opposed to 50. So yeah, do look into that if you're there. Really easy to do. Uh, food, pretty much the same as anywhere you go in America. We'll be getting a lot of Uber Eats, fat Uber Eats orders inbound. Yeah, that's my main advice. Not that anyone will probably be worrying about pack and warm clothes. We all know that, but if you didn't do the underground and stuff last year, it's cheap as anything. So get on that.
Well, thank you very much. We'll take that. And
Yeah,
anyone loves saving money, so listen
I
to
think
that.
you're staying quite close to the venue, so not really
Yeah.
that important for you. But we're like 20 minutes away, so
No,
I'm sure a lot of teams will be because the com was expensive for this event.
yeah, it was. It really was. But segment three. Now, during this segment, we usually do something called the hot seat. Obviously,
Okay.
today we're going to keep that, and it's called the Boston hot seat. So we've got 9 questions for you, and this segment we do push for an answer, but if you don't want to, feel free. But
Okay.
we've got first one up. This might be the no comment. Does Noctem make a Sunday at Boston?
Yeah.
Okay, he's gone straight with that. Okay, I love that. Uh, your biggest EU seeded underdog from teams you played so far this year in the EU. Who's making the run?
Yeah. I don't know who's exactly going to the event, but I think the Spanish will do quite well. Not that they're necessarily an underdog team, but I think they're a lot better this game than they were last game. Um, so yeah, I expect them to do quite well at this event. If that drills team is going, they're definitely shooting back a little bit this year. So you know, maybe they can get a decent placement. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't really care either, to be honest. Teams will place where they place, isn't it? It's on them.
Fair enough. Right. The next one. Predict the top 8 teams at Boston.
Ooh.
Mm,
I mean, I'll just throw a few name teams that I think will get top 8. So
okay.
I think the New War team will get top 8. I think Deviants will get top 8. I think we'll throw us in there. We'll go in America. Um, I haven't really been watching too much America. The fellow team, I think, will.
Yeah, they look
Fellow
incredible.
Two Real, Paddy, and Yuli. I think what American teams they keep bloody changing. I don't know if that Doug team is better with Yeezy or not than that craze, but they always do quite well at the event. So maybe them. I don't know. I really don't know in America. Um, Don't know if we're having any Australian teams or anything like that.
Not seen much.
Yeah, I mean we'll just back EU. Let's just throw every other EU team in there, mate. That will be, we'll let one American team in, and then we'll say the Spanish Cobras lot backing the boys. We'll just
Just
let all the EU boys in.
you're saying 7 out of the top 8 is going to be EU.
Yeah, why not?
I hope that happens. I absolutely love it. What an event that would be.
I don't know. I don't know who's even on these Yank teams. They keep changing. So
Yeah. What's the one team you want to play against the most at this event?
I'd quite like to play the fellow team after choking to that. Obviously, the only difference now is they have Paddy instead of Ghosty. Worst choke I've ever been a part of in COD, LAN or online. So it'd be fun to get some revenge on them. Be fun to play against Gabe. Love that.
That would be good.
Definitely love to play against Gabe. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have anyone I ecstatically want to play against or don't want to play against. So
Fair enough. So
bracket will be the bracket. At the end of the day, if you want to win these tournaments, you've got to be able to beat everyone. So
Gabe or Fellow are getting it though. That's what I've heard.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
you've just said there, right, for the next one, but I'm going to ask it anyway. What team do you want to avoid in the bracket? But you're telling me there's none. Just give you them all.
I mean, yeah, you've got to be able to beat anyone if you want to win these events. So you can't go into an event trying to avoid a team.
I feel that. I don't know. You might look at that and go, I wouldn't mind if they were on the other side of the bracket.
Nah.
I respect it. You're an absolute animal. Absolute animal is ruthless. Right, we've seen it in recent titles where one region is further ahead in game knowledge than others. Which region do you think will be further ahead in the event, EU or NA? Off of your previous statement, I'm going to say you're going to go EU.
Well, yeah, it's a hard one because it's hard to know who's ahead until the teams play each other at the first event, obviously. NA's got a bit of a different play style. I've noticed a lot more SMGs and stuff being used over there, where we've got quite a lot of like 4AR sort of meta play styles and stuff. They're being a bit more explosive, etc. So it's going to come down to which one works better on LAN. At the end of the day, if you're a good team, you're a good team, and you're probably going to play each other quite close. So I'm not 100% sure who's going to come out on top, but I'm fingers crossed you come out on top. We've been playing the better play style and the better game than them this whole time, but we'll see. And at the end of the day, it's all on the day. You gotta execute and play your best COD in the day, hit flow state, fry some people. So you can spend all your time worried about how to play the game and stuff. If you're not shooting on the day, you're not shooting on the day. So like, I don't know. It won't necessarily be play styles, etc. It comes down to it will just become down to turning the fuck up.
Yeah. You're so locked, it's beyond belief, and we're 2 weeks from the event, still a week and a half. You're there mentally.
Oh, yeah, you got to be, ain't you?
I love it, honestly.
Go
on.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, I've said like part of my drive and stuff now. I mean,
Yeah.
what's important to me is what's important to me, and there's a lot of like, I don't know how to even explain it. A lot of like pricks in the scene and haters in the scene and stuff, and you got to learn to just focus on you. And at the end of the day,
Yeah.
we all have our own goals for competing. Some people are like, at the end of the day, no one's really making that much money from this stuff, and we all have our own reasons to compete. Some people it's an escape, which it has been for me in the past with stuff that's going on in my life. Some people have different goals. They're trying to like I think like Nasty and all that. They're planning to get back in the pro league this year. I mean, my main goal is to just win stuff in challenges. That is my focus. So I want to be able to prove to myself and to like family that I can do that, and it doesn't really matter what anyone else thinks. People focus on other people too much,
100%, mate. Say it loud for the people in the back, honestly. Just focus on yourself, and whoever sits down against you, right? Whoever is on the other side of that station is in for a long day. They best be shooting back, because you're going with the fire in your belly. I love it.
100%, man.
But do you think, right? We saw it last year at the Boston event. Do you think the team that wins this event? Do you think players from that team will be in the CDL for stage 2?
I should hope so with some of these CDL rosters right now. I mean, come on. Like, and it's hard because there's players on these rosters that were absolute gods and challengers.
Yeah.
But like, it's not necessarily like the individual talent. It's some of these teams just don't know how to build a team, and they just recycle the same names, or when they do branch out, like they've had some success and stuff. But like Snoopy, I think is really good. But like it's the CWO era is better. Qualify into the league yourself, Otherwise, the same people and brands just stay in when there's better players in challenges.
Yeah.
And then you get like ludicrous stuff happening, like people like Chilt who should have had a chance in the league. Like Steve should have had another chance potentially at the pro scene. Like it's just, yeah. I mean, you can talk about it all day.
Yeah.
It's a friendship league, innit? And
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. It's not even my focus anymore. Like for me, challenges is what's important now. Like just trying to win something for myself.
Yeah.
We all know the dynamics of the scene now.
Yeah. Hopefully, I mean, hopefully we're close to that, going back full circle to something closer to
Yeah.
what we all know and
I,
love.
I do believe like that maybe like a full roster could get picked up if one of these teams are struggling, or like 3 of the 4. Don't want to name any names or anything, but like say the Ravens brand is struggling, they probably would keep play, but like maybe pick up 3 players from a challenger team, or like. But it's early days. You can't really blame them for not performing yet. Like they can easily turn it around, but
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see. There's
But
people in challenges that deserve to be in the league, and I'm not saying there's people in the league that don't deserve to be there. It's not enough slots, and really, we should have all they should have all won the qualifier or earned their way in. To be honest,
yeah,
you can't just put names together on paper and say it'll work all the time.
you got no arguments from me, mate. But while on this topic, I've got another one. In your opinion, is there one singular player in Europe right now that these CDL teams are going to be keeping an eye on at Boston?
I mean, anyone from the war team deserved to have eyes looked at them. Yeah, probably anyone from that team. To be honest, I mean they've
No, no
all just come
underdogs.
from the pro league.
No
I don't
rogue
think
names.
you say like all keeping an eye on like the underdogs. They won't have their eyes on now, but if they start putting a show on, they'll notice them.
Yeah,
But like I said, there's stuff like Chilt should have had a chance, etc. Like people like that should have eyes on them. Probably won't because of the dynamics of stuff. But it's gonna come. Like I hope to think whoever wins will have a lot of eyes on them and hopefully a chance.
we'll see. We'll
It
see.
happened. It happened last year.
Yeah, it did.
Every player from that fellow team got picked up eventually. So
And
if you want to
you
get in the
could have beat
league,
them.
win the event. Yeah, don't remind me, man.
Sorry, I couldn't resist it. But yeah, there's so much talent in there, right? And I'd be shocked if, with the way some of the CDL teams are playing, if there's not people keeping an eye on what's going on in challenges for stage 2.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's chances to be had for someone, that's for
I
sure.
mean, yeah. Let's hope they're looking in it. I mean, we've got 2 events to showcase ourselves.
Wow.
Don't know how much they take from elites and stuff, but no, they seem to focus on a lot of like LAN winners and stuff like that last year. So, which is why I think the uproars in the scene about the LAN event, like people are talking about like capping that about having all these elites and stuff to get seen, but look at the evidence. It was event winners and stuff who got picked up last year. If we've only got 2 events, that's a lot less chances for people to get noticed.
Yeah. No, I
And
completely agree.
it's a lot smaller pool of data.
I completely agree. But I feel like we've fired enough at you now. So we've got one final question. We'll keep it light-hearted. How many alcoholic beverages do you think Noctem Jack will consume at Boston? I'm expecting this man to be nervous while watching you at LAN after seeing his nerves on the watch parties. He's going to need to calm the nerves. So how many are we going with?
I mean, he didn't drink much on the days we were playing last time.
No?
We all got pretty sloshed on the Sunday. Yeah, he did like a pint then. But I mean, if we were going into London, like back in the good old days, like the Copper Box Arena, you could buy pints at the venue. Like, yeah, I'm sure he'd have a few back every single day there. But and maybe on the last day, we'll see a nice drunk Jack.
I don't know.
But,
He was. I don't know if he was
yeah,
this nervous last year, but I take them watch parties.
oh yeah,
You lads took a toll on him.
he's definitely anxious watching, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, I'm not going to get nervous today. I swear to you, first map, mate, it completely changed. You lads were just shooting, and it just done things to him. It's incredible to see.
You'll have to look after him at the event. Make sure you don't pass out.
I don't know. Do you know what? I'm concerned, to be honest. If you lads make the run, he might be on the floor somewhere.
I mean, we'll just keep taking him outside for a smoke. That always calms him down.
No, agreed. Well, everyone's on a jack duty for Boston
Yeah,
because these lads are
yeah.
gonna send him maybe to the hospital. But
I mean, from the tournament so far, we've been mega tweaky at times and like quite like we've had icy moments, but we've had a lot of choky moments too. So probably not good for his heart, but yeah, we'll try to ice up a bit more for his
good,
sake
good.
and ours.
But no, I mean that's everything I've got for you, my man. So now we're on to guest time, and it's a case of if you have any questions for me, anything you want to touch on, or anything you want to promote during this time.
No questions for you. Yeah, just make sure you're tuning in to the Noctem stream and Copy stream. All the support's amazing for everyone. Share a bit more love in this community because you're full of haters, bunch of you are dicks. Need to mind your own business a bit more. Stop chatting shit about other people. We're all trying to do the same thing at the end of the day, and a lot of like jealousy or hatred towards people for no reason goes around, and yeah, we all need to be a bit more positive because we're all in the blender at the end of the day, and MND awareness as well. You got any spare money or anything? There's a lot of good charities out there that are supporting MND at the moment, and obviously it's quite a rare disease. It doesn't affect a lot of people, but it's affected me. Horrible thing anyone can go through. So yeah, if you take a bit of time to learn about it and want to help, there's quite a few good charities out there that are doing quite a lot for it at the moment. So throw that in there as well.
Absolutely love it. And we're going to be dropping that charity link down below in the comments, along with all of Rezzy's socials, all of Noctem socials, and my own. So please go check them out. Check out the charity link. Anyone watching this on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button and leave a comment. Anyone listening on Spotify, hit that review. It'd be very helpful. And that is episode 14 of The Pit done. Thank you so much, Rezzy.
Nice one. You guys, mostly at Boston.